Just ringing up Christopher Browell again. Today is hello. Answer it.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07762471196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh, hello, Mr. Browell. It's Mr. Hussein here regarding my brother Talib Hussein. You just did pick up the phone, which was surprising, and then as soon as I said hello, you put it down, recognizing it was myself. And this is not acceptable behavior, is it? The last time we spoke was on the end of August, and you said, I'm going to get back to you, I'm going to speak to my managers. And then subsequently, I've been leaving a call every single day, a voice message every single day, asking you to respond, and you're not responding. And this is just childish, immature, unprofessional behavior, isn't it? You're asking me to write things down. I'm writing things down. I'm sending you guys an email every single day, asking for a simple explanation of how you have legally managed to take my brother. Hey, this has always been the case. I never try to do things unlawfully. It's not in my interest to do them unlawfully. I don't have a deficit. I never had a financial deficit before. I certainly don't have a moral deficit, unlike yourselves. So I don't need to do things unlawfully. That's hence why my argument with you was, you're asking me to register my brother at a GP practice now, but how can I do that when I do not know what legal framework I'll be working under? Because you've removed the lasting power of attorney for health and welfare. Previously, I was working under the direction that my brother was giving me authority to do so. But more importantly, I've always been working under a legal framework of the trust instrument that was created in the year 2000. So I've always tried to ensure that to do things legally to protect myself, so I do not end up on the wrong side of the law. I'm very cautious not to do stuff like this, because there are serious consequences to my freedom and liberty if I act against the law. So I make sure that I do not go around doing things unlawfully. But the same does not apply to you, the local authority, because the laws do not apply to you or are applicable to you, because there are no singular consequences to you breaking the laws. Look at the situation now. You've come in here, I'm asking for what law have you done in order to come and take my brother like this? There is no law. At least last time you gave some sort of legal framework, as I've explained. On the 3rd of August 2018, 5 years ago, you said that because I remember I raised a safeguarding alert that my brother was being grossly neglected by Adalat's involvement and taking over Talib's money. So 5 years ago, there was a legal framework when you took my brother. You came with the police, you came with 2 doctors. Nadia Khan came down with, I believe, Dr. Sami and Dr. Nadeem Nasser. And at least you had 2 doctors to lawfully make it a Section 2 detention. This time, you have not used any laws. As you can see from the emails I'm sending, every single day I'm sending an email. Just tell me what laws you're working with, so I know what my rights are, I know what my brother's rights are, and so therefore that's a framework that I can work under. You've not used deprivation of liberty orders. You've not got any deprivation of liberty orders on the 8th of August. You've simply just come down, you've given the decision maker, no doubt Mark Truin or his manager or his superiors, somebody seniors made the decision in collaboration with the West Yorkshire Police to come and arrest me and take my brother. You were hoping and anticipating that we would be inside and you would break the door in as you normally do. Luckily for us, we were in the garden. My brother was in the garden. We came out into the garden. You were not there, Mr. Browell. You were working that day, but you did not come down. I know that you were working because obviously previously I've received messages that you're working that week. So now I'm looking to make freedom of information request to determine if you were working that week. You were working that day, but you did not come down. Somebody else came down because you refused to come down, and the local authority fronted somebody else who had never seen my brother, who had never had interactions with my brother, and you had abducted him after arresting me like you normally do. You've arrested me several times in the past, all unlawfully. So you've arrested my brother, and under the pretext that he was in urine-soaked clothes. You can do that. You can make charges against me. But what happens when I came to the Linfield Mount Hospital in 2018 and he was in urine-soaked clothes? Nothing happens to you when it's a property, when you were not feeding him properly. I remember then they were saying, my brother was complaining to me that they're starving me to death, and I had to bring him a sandwich, and the sandwich got stolen. His jacket got stolen. His clothes got stolen that you got $1 to buy for him at the time. He's got no access to clothes. You're not feeding him properly. You do not know what his dietary needs are. And now you're once again playing the same game. It's ridiculous. But this time there is no law, is there? You've simply purchased the services of the police to come and arrest me. You're not explaining to me what's going on here. It's been nearly 58 days now, and I'm sat here in total anxiety and distress. Is this good for my well-being? But more importantly, is this good for my brother's health and well-being? Is it? Where you've kidnapped him, holding him hostage and ransom like this, not giving him access to his only best resource and safeguarder, myself, all right, breaking this link between me and my brother. My brother's entrusted me with everything. Go to my brother's YouTube channel where he's going over and over again, I trust you, I am giving my authority to you. He's given me his authority, having mental capacity. Now you people are so desperate to buy off judges and everybody else. You want to railroad through that lacks mental capacity to make decisions for himself, so you, the local authority, can make decisions on his behalf, that have murdered his mother, that are targeting his carer, that have previously imprisoned
15 seconds recording time remaining.
That have previously imprisoned his carer and got our nefarious brother Adalat to abuse him. This is ridiculous, Mr. Browell. You picked up the phone, you're at work, you're refusing to call me back or refusing to engage with me, you're refusing to email me or have any kind of contact with us, you're refusing to answer my calls. Not acceptable, Mr. Browell.
Your recording time has expired. To leave your message, press 1. Message sent. Thank you for...
See, this is just childish behavior, isn't it? He picked up the phone surprisingly. I said hello. I think he must have pressed the wrong button. I said hello, and he simply just put the phone down on me. But it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, I'm leaving him voice messages every day, so he's getting these voice messages. The reality is that he cannot be not getting these voice messages because there's only so much the inbox of a voice message allows. Surely it does not allow 30 different voice messages to be held there, because I've now been leaving him voice messages since the end of August, well over 30 messages. And quite clearly he's getting them. He's obviously, it's on his mobile phone. I'm sending him daily voice messages and they're simply refusing to engage with me. It's now been 58 days later. I have no idea where my brother is. My brother's how exactly is this in my brother's best interest? How exactly is my brother how is any human being, never mind my brother, gonna be feeling, or how is that promoting their well-being, health and well-being, while they've kidnapped him, forcing him onto drugs that he does not consent to, forcing care upon him which he has not consented to, treating him like a piece of property, treating him like a piece of animal, treating him like a thing that they have control over, and yet they don't have the means or the resources to protect and safeguard him. They're not working under, primarily because they're not working under any legal framework. If they were working within the law, then me and my brother have certain protections in law which stop abuses of power and position and authority of the state. But they were looking to dispense with our legal rights. They're looking to dispense with anything that protects us, so that they are free to do as they please, without any recrimination or without any accountability, without any third party looking to bring them to account, or without any ability to raise any complaints. Is my brother now in a position to raise any complaints when he simply can't even eat properly, or and is in a situation held in horror and hostage like this? They previously did this and they got him to sign over documents, namely his appointeeship rights, in October 2018, 5 years ago. No doubt they're holding him hostage like this now. He's going to be petrified being taken from his home, taken from his family, taken from the place that he knows, and I've been trying to give him reassurance for, in the hands and clutches of people that he knows have caused him harm, alarm, and distress in the past, and have murdered his mother in the past. I've made him aware of the fact that the Bradford Council is going around murdering everybody. My brother was a witness to how Nazem was murdered. My brother's going to be scared, frightened, alarmed, distressed, and these people simply don't care because they're not interested in truth or justice. They're not interested in abiding by the laws. They just want to do as they please to cover up their own failures. Now, I'm sending them an email every day as per Mr. Muller, or put it in writing. Well, I'm very, very good at putting things in writing. I've sent them an email every single day. They don't want to answer those emails. I've sent them evidences asking them, I've sent them a simple question: tell me how you've taken my brother. They don't answer. Previously, I was telling Mr. Muller and the council, just tell us how much money you've accumulated. No, we don't want to tell you that. It's not part of our policies, procedures. Oh yeah, you're just making stuff up. All right, policies, procedures your policies and procedures have to be compatible with the law. You just can't make policies and procedures as willy-nilly as you like for your own benefit. So this is the situation. We were previously asking how much money have you got, and they wouldn't tell us. They said, we're going to write to you. We need to get it translated. How long does it take to get a letter in English translated into Urdu? I can do it in 10 minutes. We've got technology such as Google Translate that does it for free. But the reality is that they're not bothered about telling us the truth. Now we're simply asking, what is the basis that you've taken my brother lawfully? There's no legal basis. You just can't come and arrest me and just take my brother into an ambulance and say, no, we're not going to care for you now, without paying complete disregards to his wishes, his wants, his needs, and what he's saying, frightening and intimidating him, terrorizing him. You simply can't do stuff like this. There should be laws there are laws to protect both me and Talib, but those laws are being dispensed with, sidelines, and ignored, or not being adhered to. And so they're doing things illegally. And then when I've told the police last time, look, they've gone lawfully kidnapped him, they've simply come back and said, no, it's not kidnapped. No, it's not. No, it's not. And they just simply say, no, it's not. All right, what do you mean? No, have you investigated? How is this not kidnapped? We're making a complaint. But yeah, when the local authority, social services, says that I've kidnapped my own mother whilst living in the same house as her, the police come down with Mariah vans to do welfare checks. They've come down and kidnapped my brother or arrested me on the 8th of August because the social worker said that we were scared that he might have killed his brother off. We're doing a welfare check when my brother was in the car. So when you came down on the allegation by the social worker who I never met before, whose name escapes me. He said that we have welfare concerns that his brother may have killed Talib. But when the police came down, they saw my brother in the car. All right, and they said we want to have a mental capacity assessment carried out on him. And I disagreed, and I said, no, you can't do this because there are court proceedings presently underway. And what they proceeded to do then was saying, oh, well, fair enough, we're just going to arrest you. When I said, go get a translator then, if you're going to bully and intimidate and do it under duress, then go get a translator. They couldn't be bothered to get a translator. The officer said, do you need him asking his colleague, the social worker, do you need him off the scene? All right, should we put him in the van for you? All right, just bending over backwards to accommodate what the outcome of the local authority was, to effectively come down and kidnap my brother so that they can pervert the course of justice regarding the order that they had privately commissioned from District Judge Mitchell through Manningham Housing Association to get my brother's mental capacity carried out. My brother's mental capacity has no validity or any relevance now because you've basically perverted the course of justice in order to achieve your present objectives. And now all of a sudden they're just ignoring me, not answering the phone calls, being childish, imbecilic, and immature about engaging with me. What have I been abusive, aggressive with them? They're writing into my medical, raising safeguarding alerts that I'm going to be aggressive and abusive. All right, so everybody knows that. It's like a trigger word, isn't it? Everybody then gets in line. Oh, is this what Mr. was saying? Is this what's required of us? Everybody just does as they are required to do under the Milgram effect. That's outside of the local authority. authority. So the GP practices, the police, my siblings, my relatives, everybody just then gets into line because the local authority demands it. So when the local authority are the killers and the murderers, now why is he not answering my calls? Why has it been 58 days that I've not even seen or heard of my brother? I don't know if he's alive or dead. I must now be reliant on social workers that have already killed him and murdered my mother, to be reliant upon them to tell me what, basically they needed leverage, and they've got leverage now because they're holding my brother at ransom and at hostage, and are looking to hold him there in order to have control and dominance and leverage over me, putting me into psychological torture by denying me any information regarding his whereabouts or how he's doing, telling the police to put bail conditions in place so I can have no further contact with my brother. Just absolutely childish, abusive, degenerative behavior by the local authority, and I'm ringing up every day and they're looking to play these silly little mind games with me in order to mentally break me down, simply because they have failed to do their jobs properly. They have failed to do safeguard my brother. They have failed to safeguard my parents, and this is no doubt an Islamophobic, racist agenda being perpetrated by the council, and simply their answer is, when I'm making these allegations, no, it isn't. We're not even going to investigate this because it has got no reasonable prospect of succeeding. And the reason it's got no reasonable prospect of succeeding is because the fact that it's true, and you just cannot handle the consequences or outcome of it being proven true, because that places you in a negative light, and you would rather place me and other civilians in a negative light, so you can continue to have this veneer of respectability and emblem of authority over the public, and keep your public persona as the city of culture, whilst the reality is that you are torturing and murdering or causing human suffering through the institutions that you've set up that benefit only yourselves, and make profit again at the misery and demise and anxiety and indignation of the populace that you're meant to serve. What is my brother's rights right now? You've got him into a situation. What is his rights? The care that you're providing him with is not being oversighted by the Care Quality Commission. I have no idea where you're keeping him. He's got no rights, no voice, no nothing. But he may not have a voice, but I've recorded his voice authorizing me to act on his behalf, and I've obviously publicized that on YouTube, and you can see everybody, and I'm very vocal, I'm very eloquently spoken and articulated, and I act on behalf of Talib, and I've got a voice. You can't silence me. You can look to disparage me, or you can look to have a smear campaign against my character, but ultimately I still remain my brother Talib's representative, and he's authorized me to act on his behalf, and I will continue to do so. You can make only all the smear campaigns you want. You can falsely put me into prison. I still come out. I'm still his representative, and one thing you cannot do is you cannot change the fact that I'm his nearest relative. You cannot buy off the judges to change that relationship, because where is Bev Mabry now, the previous health and well-being director? She's retired. She's no longer my brother's nearest relative that you were trying to force through in 2018, trying to say that Bev Mabry, as the health and well-being director, should be my brother's nearest relative from now on, legally speaking. Why? Because there's nobody else. Does my brother Talib not have a sister in Oldham that loves and cares for him? Does he not have other siblings, other blood relations? No, you want to dispense with these things because you can simply buy off the judges, and this is what it comes down to. The reason that you're so brazen and the reason that you're so without fear is because you know the fact that the police are back in your pocket. They'll do as you please, and most importantly, all the judiciary, the judges, the courts, you bought them all off with our public money, and are now doing as you please. Without any, and all you need to do is just show the world this badly put together contrivance and a facade that you're doing everything that you're doing everything reasonably possible. What's the reasonable possible have you done now for my brother? You've just basically kidnapped him, and you're not telling me where he is. You're not denying me access to my own brother, and simply because I said I was going to charge you £1 million a week because of your failures and incompetencies. You're just targeting and victimizing both me and my brother under the guise of acting in our best interest, under the guise of acting under the law, which you're not, which you're abusing. You're not following any safeguarding procedures. You're not following any safeguarding guidelines. You're just doing as you please, as you like, because you think you're all powerful and all knowing and all. You basically think you're gods, and you're not gods. Right, you're a bunch of losers that are terrorizing the weak and the vulnerable, and looking to play God in their eyes. You're not gods in my eyes. You're a bunch of losers that can't even answer the phone call, that are so scared of me because I'm telephoning you and recording you. Oh no, Mr. Hussein, don't record us. We don't consent. We don't give you our permission. Well, was my brother giving you permission? My brother's authorized me to act on his behalf. He's not authorized you to kidnap him. So you don't give a damn about Talib's rights. You don't give a damn about Talib's consent, but you care about your own consent, don't you? Oh, Mr. Hussein, don't record us. You can't record us. We don't give you permission to record us. Well, go screw yourselves. I have a legal right as a civilian to record the nefariousness and the villainy that's been perpetrated against me and my brother. And this is all what this has been about. The local authority and judges and barristers and solicitors are simply now scared of being recorded. And why are they scared of being recorded? Because they know the fact that they don't want their lies and deceptions, frauds and malevolences to be recorded for prosperity and for the whole world to see. My recording you is the light that I'm shining upon your villainy and evilness, and you can't stand it because you, like cockroaches, want to hide in the darkness so you can lure people into misery. Absolutely pathetic, absolutely horrendous, absolutely diabolical. What can one do but persevere and be persistent?